Elliot Windsor was the kind of man people envied. He had it all: wealth, power, and a bright future. His family owned Windsor Enterprises, a real estate company known across the country. Elliot lived in a grand mansion, attended fancy parties, and drove cars most people could only dream of. On the outside, his life seemed perfect. But inside, Elliot felt trapped. His father, Robert Windsor, expected him to take over the family business. Every decision in Elliot's life was made for him, leaving him feeling like a puppet. In another part of the city, Emma Reed was living a completely different life. She worked as a waitress in a small cafe. Her home was a tiny apartment she shared with her mother, who was often sick. Emma didn't have much, but she had big dreams. She wanted to become a writer and share her stories with the world. However, between work and taking care of her mother, there was little time for her dreams. Emma's life was hard, but she never let it break her spirit. She found joy in small things: a kind customer at the cafe, a good book, or the way the sunlight poured through her apartment window in the morning. One sunny morning, Elliot decided to take a break from his hectic life. He wanted to escape the constant meetings, phone calls, and his father's endless instructions. Without any particular plan, he wandered into a small cafe near the park. The cafe was warm and welcoming, with the smell of fresh coffee filling the air. Elliot chose a seat by the window, looking out at the busy street. Emma noticed him as soon as he walked in. He didn't look like their usual customers. He wore a tailored suit and carried himself with confidence, but his eyes looked tired, almost sad. She approached his table with a smile. "Good morning. What can I get for you?" Elliot glanced up and was momentarily struck by her warm, genuine smile. "Just a coffee, please." "Black." Emma nodded and brought him his coffee a few minutes later. "Here you go. Be careful, it's hot," she said, placing the cup on the table. "Thank you," Elliot replied, his voice softer than she expected. Their eyes met for a brief moment, and something unspoken passed between them. Elliot returned to the cafe the next day, and the day after that. He found himself drawn to the quiet charm of the place and the kind waitress who always seemed to brighten his day. Emma, too, looked forward to his visits. She enjoyed their brief conversations, which slowly grew longer with each passing day. One afternoon, Elliot asked, "Do you enjoy working here?" Emma hesitated before replying. "It's not what I want to do forever, but it helps pay the bills. I'd love to be a writer someday." "A writer?" Elliot's interest was piqued. "What do you want to write about?" "Stories about real people and their struggles," Emma said, her eyes lighting up. "I think everyone has a story worth telling." Elliot smiled. "I'd love to read something you've written someday." As weeks turned into months, their bond grew stronger. They shared their hopes, fears, and dreams. Elliot found Emma's optimism inspiring, while Emma admired Elliot's kindness and vulnerability. Not everyone was happy about their friendship. When Elliot's family learned about Emma, they were furious. His father confronted him one evening. "Who is this girl you've been spending time with?" Robert demanded. "She's a friend," Elliot replied calmly. "A friend?" Robert scoffed. "She's not from our world, Elliot. She has nothing to offer you." Elliot's mother, Margaret, agreed. "You have a responsibility to this family. You can't throw it all away for someone like her." But Elliot was firm. "It's not about what she can offer me. It's about how she makes me feel alive, happy, real." Meanwhile, Emma faced her own challenges. One afternoon, Margaret visited the cafe. She waited until Emma was on her break and approached her. "I'm Elliot's mother," she said, her tone icy. "Let me be clear, you don't belong with him. Walk away before you ruin his future." Emma's heart sank. She had always feared this moment. That evening, she told Elliot, "We can't keep doing this. Your world and mine, they're too different." Elliot's eyes filled with pain. "Emma, please don't say that. I don't care about the differences." But Emma shook her head. "Your family will never accept me. I can't be the reason you lose them." Elliot refused to give up. He moved out of his family's mansion and rented a modest apartment near Emma's neighborhood. He started volunteering at a community center, helping underprivileged kids with their studies. Emma was amazed by his determination. Slowly, she allowed herself to hope again. They began rebuilding their relationship, step by step. Elliot's family, seeing his commitment, started to change their perspective. His father, though reluctant, admitted, "If she makes you this happy, maybe we were wrong about her." Emma's writing finally got noticed. She wrote a story inspired by their journey and submitted it to a local magazine. It was published and received great feedback. Encouraged, she started working on a book. Elliot stood by her side, cheering her on every step of the way. When her book was finally published, Emma dedicated it to Elliot, calling him her beacon of hope. Elliot and Emma got married in a small ceremony surrounded by close friends and family. Their love story inspired everyone who knew them, proving that love is stronger than wealth, status, or any obstacle. Together, they built a life full of love, laughter, and shared dreams. And so, their story became a testament to the power of true love, a love that bridges even the widest divides.